Alrighty then. Well, hello, 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 hello. And so tonight we are about to make some seafood stock for some gumbo. So over here I'm making my chicken stock, and in here, and those are my drinks back there. I'll tell you about those later. But what I have over here, I have got my leeks, I've got my onions, I've got my garlic, my celery, my seasonings in here. And I like to start my gumbo off from scratch. So this is what I do. I'm going to cover that in a moment. I want to give that chicken time to, just separate there. And then I'm going to go over here and to my pot. This is going to be my shrimp stock. Now, look at what I have here. I've got my leeks. I've got my white onions. I've got garlic. I've got green onions, celery. I've got my shells here for my shrimp and my shrimp heads. That makes the best stock. I've got a piece of a king crab leg here. You can't really see it because it's in there. I'll take it out in a moment. I've got some lobster claws, and I have some Dungeness crab shell. So the reason I have all that is because I like to make my shrimp stock from scratch, and that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you how indeed I do that. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and throw my onions in here. Let's go ahead and throw my onions in there. Trying to stay over here to the pot, but I'm going to throw all my veggies in there first. I'm missing the pot a little bit, so I'm going to kind of switch gears so I can. So those are my onions. I don't want to put that garlic in there too fast because it will brown too quickly. Then I've got my leeks here. I'm going to throw my leeks in there. And I put a little oil in the pot first because helps it to just saute. I like to saute my vegetables first. Get them a little soft before I do anything. Now, I know you're probably looking at my pot here. The pot is not dirty. That comes from a long time of cooking. That's called a seasoned pot. So for you people out there that's, why your pot? What's wrong with your pot? There's nothing wrong with my pot. It's called a seasoned pot because I am a seasoned chef. I'm a chef by nature. Just a little background with that. I've been cooking since I was 7 years old. My grandmother had a restaurant. My father's mother had a restaurant. My mother's mother used to ironically work for the man that plays Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless, and so she has always been an entertainer, and she cooks well. My mother was an excellent cook, so I kind of got it by inheritance. So once I learned to do what I saw growing up and learned that I could cook well, I simply started doing it myself. And then when I got about around 2015, I decided I wanted to go to chef school. So I went to a school called L'Ecole Culinary in St. Louis, where I used to live, and I got my culinary education. And so now I got a black belt in the kitchen, so to speak. So my specialty, even though I can cook all of that fancy stuff, I kind of really like to stay with home cooking because I like good tasting food. I don't like no bland food. I like my food to have a lot of flavor. That's why I'm putting all these different type of onions and leeks and things into my pot here so that I can make my shrimp stock. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sweat those, what they call sweating the vegetables. And basically that just simply means that I'm going to just give them a good saute here. You know, turn this fire up just a little bit because it's not quite the heat that I need. You want to, if you have an electric stove, you probably want to put it right on a 7-ish while you're sweating these vegetables, because you don't want the vegetables to burn. That's the last thing that you want them to do. So you want to kind of saute them there a little bit. That looks good already. In culinary, this is called a mirepoix. The only thing that's missing is the carrots. I really wouldn't put carrots in a seafood stock, so I just substituted the carrots with some leeks and some green onions. But this is basically what I call a seafood mirepoix, mirepoix. So I'm gonna let those sweat a little bit. You kind of just want to stir them up a little bit. Oh, got a little bit of, need to get that out of there. I don't want the hull in there. Let's get rid of that. So now you can probably hear the sizzle a little bit there. And you just kind of want to sweat those out a little bit. Let them saute up, soften a little bit. This is like my favorite thing in the world to do. So now I'm going to switch back over here to my shrimp, to my chicken stock that I'm going to use for my gumbo. And what I have in this chicken stock, I have obviously some dark meat chicken up there, and I've got that on about a 7 as well. So I've got that there, and I've got some more celery and leeks and onions and garlic in there. A little garlic powder, a little onion powder, seasoned salt, some accent, a bay leaf, and some thyme. So I'm just going to wait for that to kind of separate, and you definitely don't want to use the same utensils that you're using. You don't want to use the same utensils that you're going to use for your other, yeah, see now that's separating. See how it's separated there? It was just frozen a little bit. I did pre-thaw it, but it was still frozen just a little bit. So now I can push that down in my water, and then I can go ahead and put the top on it and go ahead and just let that boil over and do what it needs to do. So in a minute I'm going to put the top on that, and then that's going to be done in about an hour. So I'm going to go back over here to my vegetables that I'm sweating out, my leeks, my onions, my garlic, my green onions, and my regular onions. And see, it smells so good already. This is how you get a good stock of any kind going. So now those have sweated out pretty good. I don't want to cook them all the way because I want them to be a little al dente, because I'm going to now put my shrimp shells in and my head. So here I have my shrimp shells and my heads that I had stocked up. Seems like they're a little frozen. So we got to break them up a little bit. I want to put those in there. Then I want to, oh, they're more frozen than I thought they were. Sorry about that. But if they're a little frozen, it's okay, because that steam will, will thaw them out. So I've got some shrimp heads in here. When I buy my shrimp, I get the shrimps on, the shells on, and the heads on, because this is what's going to make the best stock for you. So you've got that shrimp head there, and then you've got the shrimp scales here. And so I cut those, and when I was cleaning my shrimp, I cut the heads off and I deshelled them and deveined them, and I kept the heads and the shells because I knew I was going to be making my shrimp stock. I love to do everything from scratch. I love good food. I'm an excellent cook. Been cooking since I was 7 years old, and I just don't like all this garbage that they have in these restaurants, because it just don't taste like nothing. That's just on the real. So now, the secret to getting the best seafood, or the best shrimp stock, in this case I'm making a seafood stock, but once that gets pink, then I'm going to start throwing my other ingredients in there. I'm going to throw my seasoning in there. As a matter of fact, I think I want to throw my seasoning in there now. So I'm going to put onion powder in my seafood stock, and garlic powder. You know, onion and garlic goes on everything. I'll put my garlic powder in there. Then I'm going to do some seasoning here. Seafood seasoning. I'm using Old Bay, but I am coming out with my Better Than Old Bay seasoning in a little while. Then I'm going to put a little accent in here. And that is going to kick that flavor up. Then, what I want to do, I want to take this and I'm going to throw a bay leaf in here. The bay leaf is going to bring the flavor out of the seafood really, really good. Everything's going to be, you know, cooking up really good. And I promise you this is going to be an amazing seafood stock. Amazing. You're going to be shocked at this seafood stock because it is going to be so outrageously delicious. So give me a second. I need to put this phone down while I'm taping because I need to do something to my bay leaves. So give me a second and I'll be right back. I'm still here. Don't panic. I just needed to open my bay leaves, so I had to lay down for a second. I'm still here. Still here. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Hold on. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Alright, we're back. So, now, I'm going to go ahead and throw my 2 bay leaves in there. I'm only going to use 2 because I don't want that bay leaf to overpower. But now you can see, you know, as my, ooh, it smells so good. You should smell this already. It smells amazing already. I love what I do. Seriously. I love what I do. Absolutely. So when you see that those shrimp scales and that shrimp head is turning pink, then you want to go ahead, when you see that these shrimp, see that? You almost can't see it over the flavoring, but they're turning pink now. So once that does that, you want to go ahead and you want to add the rest of your shells in there. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and add my Dungeness crab shells. And what I do, I de-shell my Dungeness crab and then I save the shells after I cook them, and then I rinse them. So we're going to add those in there. Add those in there. Then I've got a nice king crab piece right here that I'm going to throw in there. That's why I don't throw away my leftovers. I don't throw away my junkies because I know I'm going to use it later. Got a nice king crab knuckle in there, and I'm probably just going to pull that out and eat it later, but hey, throw that in there. And then last but not least, I have some lobster claws I'm going to throw in here. Now don't panic, you're going to see a rubber band on it for just a second, and once I get it in the pot, then I'm going to take the rubber band off. So all those seafood flavors are going to go in there, and they're going to make it really nice. They're going to make a real nice stock for me to go in my gumbo. That's the secret to good gumbo. Flavor. Flavor, flavor, flavor. I'm sorry I'm jiggling, but I'm trying to rinse these lobster claws off at the same time. So again, don't panic. You're going to see the rubber band, but as you can see, I'm about to take it off. I did rinse that off. So I'm going to have to clip that with a pair of scissors here. My cooking shears, I'm going to clip that with my cooking shears. Clip that off right quick. And where did it go? Find that in the pot. Take it out. Make sure I take all of it out. And just to be safe, I'm going to do this one outside of the pot because I don't want that, I don't want to take the chance that I miss the rest of the rubber band. So I'm going to take that off outside of that. There we go. Now, just to be safe, I'm going to dig in here and make sure that the other part of that rubber band is out. I'm going to make sure that it's out. I don't want it in here mixed in, making us ill. Okay, I don't see that it's in there. I don't see it in there anywhere. And yes, I wash my hands constantly because that's what a good chef does. Alright, so I don't see it in there, so I think we got it all. Here's the piece of the rubber band so you'll know that it was not in there. So now we've got our lobster stuff in here. And what I'm going to do now, I've got my water that I'm going to pour in here. You want to start off with 32 ounces of water. And then, of course, we're going to need more water, so I'm going to get more water and I'm going to pour it in there. And you want to pour some more water in there, so now that's 64 ounces. And I'm going to take another half. What I do to measure mine, I use a mason jar. I'm going to show you that in just a second so you'll know what to do. Okay, sorry about all that movement. So now, so this is what I use. This is a 32 ounce mason jar, and you can see I've used 2 and about 2/3 of that for the stock. Once I've got that in there, I'm going to give it a stir, and we're going to let that cook down for about an hour. Let that cook down for about an hour. See all of that goody goodness in there. And once that cooks down, all that nice flavor is going to get in there. And I'm going to go ahead, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour the rest of that water in there. Can't hurt it. I'm going to go ahead and check over here on my chicken stock here. See how that's doing. See, that chicken is, so sorry about that. So what you see in the background over there is my drinks that I make. I have a cocktail company called the Yummy Cocktail Company. You can check us out on Instagram at grownfolks21. And it is a Patron base, a Hennessy base, and a vodka base lemonade. And it is absolutely amazing. We have it in the full 16 ounce size here. This is what's called Boot Up. And what Boot Up has in it, it has a passion fruit and blood orange lemonade with a Hennessy and a mandarin orange rum in it. On that one, that is the regular size. And then, of course, we also have a travel size because you can ship. I do ship. And so this is the company, the Yummy Cocktail Company. You can see that. And then also I have one called Atlanta Sangria. Now this one is a humdinger. This is one of the most popular drinks in Atlanta, only available at my company, the Yummy Cocktail Company. And what it is, you have a cranberry sangria lemonade with a green apple vodka, a fruit punch vodka, a pineapple vodka, and tidbits of pineapple in there, as well as Hennessy and a mango rum in there as well. It is absolutely delicious, and we also have that in the travel size. Same size, it's still a 16 ounce, but it's just in a travel package so that it won't bust. Then, last but not least, we have got the Miami Mango here. Now, the Miami Mango is a Patron base, and what that is, it is a pineapple Patron, pineapple vodka, and a coconut rum and a mango lemonade there, and it is absolutely refreshing. And it also comes in the travel size here. So I put these in these when I ship them because I don't want them to bust. So you can see that you can, stick your straw in there and drink it. And I'm going to show you our frozen ones because it's much better frozen. So this is actually an Atlanta Sangria frozen. This one is the Miami Mango frozen. And then I also have, this one is the Booed Up frozen, And then I also have the Miami Mango frozen. So I'm sorry to be all over the place, but I am doing a cooking video, and so I want to just show you what we have here. So this one is the Miami Mango frozen. So you can see those are frozen, and then those are 16 ounce packages as well. And then I also have a 32 ounce size that comes in a mason jar, frozen. And I'm telling you, this is like the bomb. This particular one is the Miami Mango, and you can get them in those three. You can get a 32 ounce mason jar, a regular frozen pouch, or when you want to get them shipped to you, you can get them shipped in this 16 ounce pouch as well. So back over here to the cooking. Got my chicken stock going here that I'm going to be putting in my gumbo as well. And then we're over here. I'm going to increase the heat on this this seafood stock so that it can go ahead and get a boil on it. So once that comes up to a boil, I'm going to reduce it, let it simmer for about an hour, and then we're going to have some amazing, absolutely amazing seafood stock to go in our gumbo, and then I'll finish up the gumbo. So this is how you make seafood stock and chicken stock from scratch. And this is what is going to give you an amazing gumbo flavor. So I'm glad that you enjoyed the cooking show today. Cooking with Lady D. I have enjoyed myself with you. And Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope that you're having a wonderful time. Look, don't let nobody stress you out, okay? It is Christmas. Everybody has had a ridiculously stressful year. COVID-19, I think, has just taken all of us just around the rigmarole, and I think everybody needs a break. So don't let nobody stress you out this Christmas, okay? Nobody. I don't care who they are, what they do, if you have to put them out, whatever. Keep yourself safe. Wash your hands. Keep your mask on, and keep yourself safe, okay? This has been your host, Chef D. Marie, Lady D, and I'll be back at you to finish this gumbo. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day and a Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.